Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. My name is Victoria Munoz and this is Sunset Sat. Today I want to have a little conversation about feeling lost. I am going through this process where I just feel a little lost because I don't know what I'm doing, Like I thought I had a great idea of what I was doing, but I think I'm being redirected and I think that's the way that it's helping me see it. Which is allowing me to forgive myself, if I don't think I have been making wrong decisions. I just feel like the decisions that I've been making, I'm not quite sure if they're really helping me get to where I am, where I want to be. So, like, I'm just trying to approach things a little bit different and switching my mindset so I can allow myself to continue to move forward, because in the end of the day, me getting sad about the situation or just kind of like feeling like, oh, like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, da, 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 like that's just gonna backtrack me, because as long as I feel like I'm progressing, then that's ultimately the most important thing, because there's no real pace to progress if you think about it. When people say like, oh, like my process is like so slow, it's like, no, like that's kind of, that maybe is how it's supposed to be. If you think about it, sometimes we have moments where like things don't make sense, and like after a while, and after a long time, and like everything kind of connects, but it needed to happen in the timeline that it was going, um, because it made you realize different parts of yourself along the way, because in that, during that process, you realize, oh, like I'm not very patient when it comes to this, and like, if you take the time wisely, if you make the time wisely, you can realize how everything that happens is helping you become more self-aware, and that's ultimately the most important thing. Like I think self-awareness is the key to like I think content and like life satisfaction, because when you're so self-aware, yeah, you start seeing like things for what they are, and sometimes can be a little overwhelming, but at the same time it brings you back to the center. Like it makes you understand that in the end of the day, what the way that you think about things really impact the outcome of it, you know? Because it's like I might be on, go through a car accident and stuff, and like, yeah, like of course it's a horrible experience, like, it could be traumatizing and everything, but at the same time, maybe throughout that time, like I was already going through so much stress, and like that forced me to slow down. And that's what happened 2 years ago when I was living in this apartment near Atlanta, where I got into a car accident, and it was kind of like a like the guy literally hit me because I was trying to get out of a parking lot. And that day I was really mad. I was really upset because my roommates were not like, they were doing the part, like they were just keeping the kitchen dirty and all this stuff. And like I was like having like this like mental like conversation with myself. I was like, oh, I don't understand, like why can people like, just do the part, like it's not fair, this is the command area. And I was just angry, like I don't really get that angry often, but like that day I was feeling like really angry. And because I was like, I'm tired of like being nice about it. Like I just like, of course, like I tried to like have meetings with them and all this stuff. And like as I was like thinking about this, the car hit me. And in that moment I was like, I literally was like, whoa, I cannot be thinking this way. And I somewhat, I felt like my way that I was thinking kind of attracted that energy towards me. And like I know some people might not believe in that, but that's just how I am. So after that, like I was just like confused. I was like, I mean, my car got totaled because it got really, because it was a truck, like a, not truck, like a, yeah, like it was a truck that hit me. My car is like a compact, so, well, it was a compact, so it was small. So, but it wasn't that bad, but like it messed up my car a lot, and like they had to tow it, and like I had to like go through the process, and like da da da. It was a lot, but during that time I realized that I was so tense all the time. Like I was kind of like unconsciously I was mad at life because things weren't really going the way that I wanted to, although they were slowly getting there. And I think it made me more patient because I was like, oh well, like even though things are not going as fast as I wish for it to go, they're still happening. And I think I should be just grateful for that, you know. And like I was going to the chiropractic and stuff, and like, you know, like doing the massage and stuff, and like after a few weeks of me doing that, I became so relaxed. I was like, oh my god, like I just been holding so much tension in my body, and like I always been trying to be like fast paced and stuff. And now that, you know, I didn't have a car for a little bit, I had to like kind of like, you know, I was limited what I was able to do. And like of course I had to take Ubers, and I was like, okay, like I can't be like going around everywhere. So it really slowed me down, but at the same time it made me really grateful. And like during that time I was like, oh, like, you know, I don't like, why is this happening, you know. And instead of like me focusing on that, because I mean I did focus on that for the first like few weeks, and I was like why is this happening to me, da, da, da. But then afterwards I was like, what is it supposed to teach me, you know. I started asking myself those questions, like what is the lesson behind this, or what was like what would this lead me to, you know. And like throughout that time, like I started to like really understand myself, because I was like, I just became more like bored, because I was like, honestly, during that time I was very like still a little traumatized for like everything that was happening, because I was living in a really like bad area. It was so bad. It was really like, it was kind of like in the ghetto. um so like, you know, I used to hear gunshots all the time and stuff, and like at first I didn't care, because I was like, okay, like I'm here just to like to that was the first place that I moved. Like when I moved out of my parents' house, I moved to this like one room, a storage room that they have for Airbnb, and I lived there for like 2 months, and then I found this other apartment which I was roommating with this girl, which it was really cheap, and of course it was in the ghetto, so I was like, it's fine, like if this is what I had to do to like move forward, then I'm gonna do that. So I was living there, and like I was like, you know, I didn't put much mind to it. And then that's because I didn't have a car, like I was kind of like walking more, and like I started like just going on walks around the neighborhood. It was about it, that wasn't the best idea. I started biking and stuff, but like I would hear like gunshots and stuff like that, and like I was like under a lot of stress. But then that redirected me at the same time, because I was like, okay, I don't want to be in this area, like this is not safe for me, like I don't feel safe. And then I read like somebody died in like a newspaper, and I was like, oh my god, like what's happening, like somebody got shot in front of the building, and it was not good. It was called the Point at West Side. So but yeah, it was a lot. But at the same time, that kind of make me like wake up a little more, because I was like, okay, I really need to like push myself forward. Like I was doing the things and stuff, but at the same time, like I was like, what I need to do now is like work on my mental strength, because when I used to hear the gunshots, sometimes I would like jump, and like I was like always so jumpy, because I just hearing that constantly, like it was a lot. And like, you know, I hear people screaming, like it was just like women like asking for help outside. It was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. But then, you know, later on, like I became so grateful, because I was like, okay, like I know when I move out of here, like I'm gonna nurture like wherever I move, because I know how it feels to live in this area. Because when I was in the Dominican Republic, we lived in a really poor area, and they had like strikes all the time and all stuff. Like it was kind of like reminding of that. That's why I was like, okay, it's fine. But after a while, I was like, just because it's okay, like just because I could survive it, I can like live on that situation, doesn't mean I have to, because it was a lot of stress that I was under. So when the incident happened, I kind of like start to like just working towards like figuring out what truly I wanted and what I didn't want, and it kind of like redirected me, and I was able to like find a better place to live, and a better place to like find myself, and find the things that I feel like were more aligned with me. And I started connecting with new people, because I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like I want to, I have a better idea of where I want to go. So I started doing things that would like lead me to that. So that was very interesting, because if it wasn't for the incident, I would just kind of like keep going, like doing like the regular thing all the time, like just go to work and like just kind of figure out like what the stuff with school. And I don't know, I feel like that sense of like, oh, like uncertainty, I was like, I don't know what's happening, like what just happened, like what am I doing, da da da. Like it really brought me back to like, okay, how am I feeling, and what can I do now to like get myself out of the situation. So it was strange. Like I think it's ultimately how you want to see things that changed everything. because if you want to look at it as an opportunity to grow, then you will look at it as an opportunity to grow, because you will find evidence for whatever you believe. If you believe your life is horrible, you're gonna find evidence of that everywhere. If you believe your life is great, then you're gonna find evidence of that, because your mind, that's literally their job, like just kind of basically prove that the beliefs that we have. And that's why like a lot of people stay in the same like political side for like most of their life, until like somebody comes into their life and give it a new perspective, and they like become more open-minded, and that lead them to like understand the bigger picture, you know. So it's really all about every time, like it's all about seeing that sense of confusion or loss as a way of redirection. I mean, I kind of already said that, but yeah, it has to be very intentional. That's ultimate thing. It's like you have to like make it, because I mean, it's like being happy. Like you have to choose to be happy. Like just you don't just wake up happy every day. Like, you know, you have to like it's something that you have to like actively work on every single day, because again, like there's a lot of things that I could be sad about, you know, and like there's things that like I'm, you know, I feel sad about it, but like I focus on the things that make me happy, and the things that I know are great, because like again, I'm alive today, and that's something that I'm really grateful of, and that makes me happy, you know. And like I have a roof over my head, and there's no shootings and stuff happening around this area or anything like that. Like, I'm really grateful for the little things like that, because I know how it felt not being in an environment that is so peaceful as this. And like I am grateful that I'm able to like still do the things that I like doing, like this, you know. But again, it's like you have to figure out like what is it that you're grateful of, and what is it that you feel lost about. Okay, and then you can try to like figure out like a way to like connect those things and find a new direction if you're feeling lost. Because now that I've been feeling kind of lost and confused of like I really want to do, because I am constantly in this debate with school. Like I do not want to do school, and that's something that I always talk about. And like I, you know, like I think I've been gaslighting myself to believe that that is the best thing, just because the comfort that comes with it. And I know that of course I'm gonna be making a good amount of money, which it will eventually help me with my nonprofit. But at the same time, like I don't feel like it's for me. I have never felt like school wasn't for me. I literally wanted to go to the military in the beginning, and my second option was becoming a psychologist. And of course, the military, my parents were like, no, like we don't want you to like go through all that stuff, because you know during that time like there was a lot of cases of women being assaulted and raped in the military. So it was a lot from parents to be like, no, I don't want you to go there. And I was like, okay, whatever. So and then I was like, I wanted to be a psychologist, and then my friends were like, there's no money there. So I tried to do nursing, and then the nursing, I was like, hell no, this is not fun at all. Like I did some advanced placement classes on high school, which basically I went to like a little college, and I was able to take those college classes that were similar to the ones I would be taking in college if I did nursing. And I was like, hell no, this is not fun at all. Like it was so stressful, and like I went in, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna try and maybe see how it is. And then I was like, no, I'm doing awful at this, and like I'm not that passionate to like be in a building and seeing people sick every day and feeling like I can't truly help them. Like I could help them, but sometimes there's going to be a lot of cases that I'm not going to be able to help them, and that was overwhelming to me. So, you know, I did a business administration, so I got my associates, and then I'm doing marketing. But like I'm just like I'm done. Like I think the foundation of like the class that I took for my associates for business administration, I think they're good enough for me to move forward. And like I don't care if I don't have a bachelor's. I think the associate itself, it's already enough, because I can apply all those stuff that I have learned into my business and my nonprofit, and I have been doing that for the past few years. So I am in this like little bit of the dilemma, because I only have a year left, and I'm like, of course I'm so close, but at the same time it's not bringing me any happy. Like I just not making me happy. And then I know that deep down I do not want to get a corporate job. So now I feel like where I'm being redirected is like, okay, Victoria, if you're saying that you don't need this degree, right, and that you can still manage to do things without it, then why don't you start now, you know? And then when you do find that job, then stop school if you do it. So that's kind of like I might do, like, I'm just gonna try to find a job temporarily that will provide me the stability, the financial stability that I need right now, so I can let go of that bachelor, because I just don't. It's not in me. Like I feel like a lot of the information that I've been learning for marketing, I have already been studying it on my own because I just find marketing very exciting and like interesting, because marketing is basically, psychology and like it's like yeah, it's just like psychology and like the art of selling. That's really what it is, a combination of those things. And like I love psychology, and I like to like sell myself in a sense, because I think it's interesting how like the the most important thing that you have is like the like your personality, like the person that you're portraying to the world, because that's really like the phase of your business, in a sense. So it's like the more you learn about yourself, the better you're able to like market yourself, but that means that you have to work on yourself, like actually generally understand who that person is, so you can make sure that your brand is aligned with you know so I feel like ultimately that's what I have been doing for the past few years. And again, like I love psychology, so like I just study that on my own. I have been actually taking courses online for psychology for like the past few years. They has this program, it's called Coursera.com, where basically colleges like provide this course, and then you take the classes, and like if you want to like get a certification for it, like the credibility for it, like the credit and stuff, you can pay like $49 and take the like exam, and then you're good. You can literally put that on your resume. So like if you ever want to try to do that, go ahead, because it's out there. So yeah, so I just been like, I'm just like in this little debate with myself. It's like, okay, who am I doing this for? Like, am I doing this for myself? Am I doing for like the idea that I have put out there and I just don't want to let go of? Or am I doing this for my parents because I want their validation? Because, at the end of the day, I still care for, or what they think or how they feel, because I know they want me to be stable, and that would just give them a sense of peace. But again, like, I should be doing this for myself. And I think I believe I will be successful either way. And I see that for myself every single day, because I'm working towards that. I'm literally taking steps aside from school. Like, I'm taking steps towards the things that I am passionate about, and I'm getting better at it, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm just trying to understand myself a little more, and like trying to figure out where this redirection is leading me to. Because in the end of the day, when you have a calling or you have a purpose, like everything will like be aligned, as long as like you're doing what your heart and mind is telling you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like for school, I have never felt connected to it. Like, what I enjoy most about school is the fact that I'm learning about other people, and that I'm understanding how like like I'm literally seeing the progress of people's like mentality, in a sense. Like, it's weird. Like, I see how passionate some people are about some careers and stuff, and like how much like they change throughout the process of understanding themselves and understanding the career they're like getting themselves into. And I think that is so interesting. Like, I think the psychology in me is just like, I'm just observing the people's behavior. I'm like, oh, like that's so cool. Like, I can understand that a little bit more, and I can see how this person now like changed their major, because they took this class, and they see how they're still part of this field, but at the same time they generally feel like they're helping more, with this other like degree, in a sense. Although it's on the same field, I don't know. It's just very interesting, and plus like I get to like use my people skills in there. Like I have created so many connections, and it's so exciting, because every time I talk to professors and stuff, they're so impressed, and like, and just people there just like, how are you doing this and all that. I'm like, that's nothing, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I just feel so passionate about these things that it doesn't feel like a lot, like I just feels like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. So I don't know, it's just weird. It is so freaking weird, because it's like I feel like life is a game, and like sometimes like you have to like just try. It's a try and error situation, and you have multiple lives, you know? Because it's like, yeah, you die, but then you come back. But in this sense, this is not like you're not actually dying, but you're like failing, you know? Like, I think like dying in the game is like failing. Like, you fail at it, but then you come back. So that's kind of like the approach that I've been taking at it, and it's helping me become more at peace with the outcome of things, because I have really bad anxiety, or I used to. I'm coping with it a lot better now because I've been doing a lot of journaling, which just has helped me understand myself a lot more. Because sometimes I write some things and I'm like, oh wow, like I didn't even like notice I was feeling that way. Like, oh, I didn't understand the gravity of that problem or how it was really affecting me. So now that I have like a better idea of what it is, then I'm able to like approach it better. So it's like it's really, I think ultimately the key to growth is like the journey. It's like enjoying the journey of understanding yourself, because that leads you to like make decisions that are more aligned with your soul purpose, which makes life purposely makes you feel like you're living with purpose, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I am so happy that you have been listening this far. I really appreciate you, and I believe that you got this. Just tell yourself how proud you are of yourself, because ultimately sometimes that might be the ultimate thing that changed everything, you know. Because I think for me that has changed everything. Like have I have always like strive for more, and I never gave myself that grace that I was craving from other people, because I was like, I want the validation, da da da. But then when I started giving myself the validation, I was like, okay, like I'm not that awful. Like I'm, like I don't even do bad things, you know. Like, so it's just like I was like, why am I so hard on myself? Like, why am I so critical, you know? So when I started looking at myself more gently, I was like, okay, like I just need love, and I can give that to myself, you know. Because it's like the more you love yourself, the more you're able to like understand how strong you are, which builds your confidence and creates evidence of like the possibilities of the future. Because it's like you feel more capable. You can't do it. So I don't know. It's just, it ultimately is about loving yourself, but not like, the way that people like sometimes put it. It's just more of like, I think loving yourself is like really taking the time to just learn about yourself, you know, and accepting every part that comes along with it without shame or judgment. And then when things needs to be changed, you're just a good friend that tell them, hey, like, I think that wasn't the right thing to do. Like, you either have to like, ask for like apologize either to whoever you did that wrong to or to yourself, and just move forward and try to not do that again, figure out how you can't not do that again, like prevent yourself from not doing it again. So I don't know, it's just, again, it's all about the approach that you take, because life, we're human beings, like we're just being, our existence itself, it's already the purpose of our living, so I think also the law of the attachment helps a lot, because when you start disattaching yourself from this idea that you're putting out there, of like who you're supposed to be, instead of like, like, it gives you so much peace, because again, like, you're just being what is like your heart and mind is like telling you is more aligned with you, and like not letting the OU hold you back, because that's not, like, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to like change the ideas that you had like a few months or like years or weeks ago. Like, it's okay. Like, this is a process of growth. Like, you're constantly changing because you're constantly growing. So it is okay. Give yourself that time to just forgive yourself, for like doing things wrong, like in the past, or like not even wrong, like just not properly like understanding how things were supposed, no, what things, supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, like, it's just you, like only you understand how things are, because it's like only you have this perspective. Yeah, and also be like, be gentle with other people. everybody's going through it. Like, you're going through it. Like, somebody else is going through it. Like, don't, just be kind, man. Like, I know sometimes, like, sometimes it can be hard. But it gets to a point that it just becomes, like, your name. Like, by default, you become a nice person, you know? If you're a bad person, it's okay. Like, if that's who you are, accept it. But now, let's change it a little bit, okay? Like, don't look at it as a shame or judgment, but look at, okay, like, yeah, like, I used to, like, make rude comments to people, and, like, that kind of, like, make that my personality. Like, I thought that was funny, so, like, you know, no, like, deep down, you know that doesn't feel good, because it's like, if somebody would have done that to you, like, you wouldn't feel peace. Like, you would think back to him, like, damn, like, what if, like, what they're saying is right? Like, what if I'm kind of stupid? What if, you know, like, it makes, like, your comments, like, that are, like, rude like that, it's gonna make somebody question themselves in a negative way, you know? And it's like, if you want to do something positive with somebody, and you want to make a comment about something that you think that they're doing wrong, or think that you don't agree, take them, like, just put them aside in private and be like, hey, like, I you know, I heard that you said this, and I think that wasn't really nice, or, like, you know, I was thinking that, I don't know, whatever you feel like you might want to address to that person, but just don't embarrass people, because it's like that put people away. Like, it makes people not want to be part of things because they're too afraid to be judged again, you know. Yeah, so it's, you know, it again, if that's who you were, like, that's who you were. Like, you're not longer that, okay? Just allow yourself to even feel what those people might feel, you know? Like, damn, like, that wouldn't feel really sad if somebody would say that to me. Or, like, damn, like, a person probably was having a hard day, and, like, I was a dick, and I knew it, you know? It's like, how would I feel if I was having a bad day and that happened? Like, you know? So, like, kind of put yourself in their position, and like, just be kinder to people, because at the end of the day, karma is real. Like, all the religions talk about it, like, you know, people that even believe in religions, like, as a Buddhist, I believe in karma and stuff. So I prefer just to be nice to people all the time, even if they're mean to me, because sometimes that will even be a better revenge. Like, that will make them feel stupid for even being mean to me, because it's like I'm not gonna put myself to that level, you know what I mean? But again, it's like, it's all about, like, being nice, like, to, you know, like, just how nice, like, well, that's the thing, a lot of people are not nice to themselves, so, like, by, like, to them, that's being normal, like, just being normalized to, like, be mean to other people. So it really always goes back to, like how you treat yourself and how you love yourself, because you cannot love other people if you don't know how to love yourself. And the way, you know, like, yeah. So I'm not going on this, like, the podcast is done. Like, I'm not gonna go into this conversation because it's gonna be a long one, but I'm gonna try to have another episode where it talks a little bit more about the impact that we have in people, and I'm gonna have some research to back it up and stuff like that. But yeah, so thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I am looking forward to continue to be posting more podcasts. My goal is to become more consistent, which I'm kind of working on that. Like, it's kind of there, you know. It's just, but yeah. Oh, that was my born. But yeah, I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. I love you.